Hi everyone, it's ArmyTrix, and in this video I thought I'd do a post M4A1 update video on which one is best, the M4A4 or the M4A1. And if you haven't seen before, I did do an earlier video on this before the update in which I kinda said it's a mix of both, but personally I prefer the M4A4. Anyway, now I've actually kind of liked the M4A1 even though it's been nerfed. I still like the M4A4 too, but I thought I'd talk about the differences now and which one it's more worth getting. So, here we go. So, ever since the new update, it's been nerfed in a few senses, so... Well, one thing that's kind of good is the reduced price. The price was changed from $3,200 to $3,100, the same as the M4A4. The armor penetration was reduced from 1.4 to 1.25. And the rate of fire was reduced from 667 RPM to 600, which happens to be the same fire rate as the AK-47. As well as this, they increased the base spread of the M4A1, which isn't a bad thing and all. It makes the actual spread tighter, which kind of makes it more difficult to control, but makes it easier to control if you move down. So its general accuracy is better, but if you want to control it fully accurately, it'll become a bit harder to precisely control the spray. And finally, they've actually nerfed the damage of the M4A1 to the same level as the M4A4 to keep them on the same kind of grounds, so they're both pretty much equally good weapons, apart from, say, the magazine size and length of the weapons and all other factors like that. So what this does mean is, just like the M4A4, with the M4A1, you should frequently find that you're getting 98 in 4 hits, or something similar to that, quite a lot of the time, which is really annoying if you're trying to battle against someone with an AK, for example, who will do more damage with the same number of hits. So, what you're here for really is which one is actually better. So on paper, it seems like the M4A4 is better with a larger clip, smaller size, pretty much the same damage as the M4A1, and pretty much the same accuracy too. There is one thing the M4A1 does edge it on the M4A4 at, which is first shot accuracy, which it minutely surpasses the M4A4. So the first shot you fire with the M4A1 will always be slightly more accurate than with the M4A4. This is probably realistically to do with the silencer or something like that. There is one other unique feature of the M4A1, which is of course that it's silenced, which means it's quieter when you shoot at enemies, and sometimes if you shoot behind them and miss, they won't always turn around immediately, because they can't always tell where the shots are coming from. And also when you're shooting through smoke, bullet traces are not visible, so it'll be more difficult for enemy players to shoot back at you through smokes. So that's one of the other advantages of the M4A1. But anyway, just because the M4A4 on paper looks slightly better than the M4A1, doesn't mean the M4A1 itself is a bad weapon. For example, just take a look at how useful the first shot accuracy of the M4A1 is.
I am throwing smoke! Throwing smoke! Flashbang! Throwing a flashbang!
The shot on the guy in wooden boxes, or by trees, whatever you call it, would have been slightly more difficult using an M4A4, so that's one of the advantages of the M4A1-S. However, if you look at how the ammo problem is with the M4A1, when you're coming against multiple enemies, 20 bullets just isn't really enough. Looking at this short clip, I just about have enough bullets to kill 3 people, and that's still getting 2 taps on one of them, so normally you'd only be able to kill maximum 2 people with that 20 bullets there in general, and the rest of it you'll just have to rely on your pistol, and you'll just have to hope that you've got something good enough to do the rest. And that's why players before the update who chose the M4A4 chose it because of the larger 30 bullet clip, which makes handling a large amount of enemies a lot easier with those 10 extra bullets. Now with the new update, there's all the more reason to switch to the M4A4. In the end, I do believe Valve will eventually buff the M4A1 once again, but it won't be quite as good as it used to be, and by this time the M4A4 and the M4A1 will be pretty much just as good. At the moment, in my personal opinion, I'd say the M4A4 is slightly better than the M4A1, although it's not a huge noticeable difference. What people do tend to notice straight away though is the lowered fire rate, which means spraying at enemies all the time isn't that viable an option anymore with the M4A1, in particular because of the smaller clip size. So my opinion right now to anyone who wants to know, would be that you should pick the M4A4 over the M4A1. But what I do want to say before I end this video is that to all those people who say the M4A1 is a terrible weapon now, it really is not. It's still a good weapon to use, but the M4A1 in my own opinion is slightly better, and it looks slightly better too on paper. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and as always, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe.